Hi, new findings on Africa's best performing airlines. But before we actually dive inside that, I also found something fascinating about the South African Airlines, okay, that got the whole wide world talking, and people in Africa were concerned about how marvelously they have done recently. Okay, so this is African Fact Zone. My name is Vidashia Say. Let's have some time with Africa, okay? Let's go. Okay, so recently was shared by the African Fact Zone people saying that South African Airways recorded a profit of 13.9 million in 2022 to 2023. The airline went 11 years without recording a profit before that. Yep, this is massive. The airline, that is the South African Airways, went about 11 years without recording any profit. Mind you, airline business is one of the most hardest jobs to ever do because it requires a lot of investment, because just making sure that an airplane flies goes in a whole lot of money. Okay, so one of the hardest things to do right now, if you are asked to actually operate an airline, though the cost is too much. But hey, South African Airways went 11 years without no profits, but just 2022-2023 they recorded $13.9 million. That is actually impressive. They have actually done well, very, very done well. Now that means they are on the tracks to join airlines or airways in Africa like the Ethiopian Airways. Okay, that is beautiful. Well, let's see something. Okay, so when this was shared, now let's actually dive inside Africa's best performing airlines in 2024. Shall we go? Let's go. All right, so this is by the African Narrative. So the African Narrative came in and says, glad to see the national carrier headed in the right direction. Now, 10 best performing African airlines in 2023, according to Skytrax, including year of establishment. All right, so we're actually going to do the latest one. The latest one is 2023. Mind you, the 2024 list is not out yet. So let's do the latest one right now. And that was the 2023. The source to this information is from Skytrax. And then we're also going to do it including the year when they established these airlines by the African countries they are from. Okay, let's go. So number one top best performing airline in Africa in 2023 is Ethiopia Airlines. The Ethiopia Airlines was established in 1945. Okay, that is the best performing airlines in Africa right now. It was established in 1945. Number two is Royal Air Morocco. That is Morocco. It was also established in 1953. Number three is South African Airways. That is South Africa. It was established in 1934. So the top best performing airways in Africa, South Africa is at number 3, and it was established in 1934. Number 4 is Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways was established in 1977. Number 5 is Air Mauritius. Mauritius it was established in 1967. Number 6 is Rwanda Air. It was established in 2002. Number 7 is Egypt Air. That is 1932 was established. Number 8 again is Fly Safar. That is South Africa, also 2013. Number 9 is Fastjet African Airline. That was established in 2012. That is South Africa and Zimbabwe kind of thing. Okay. As number 10 is Air Seychelles, and it was established in Seychelles in 1978. So these are your top 10 best performing airlines. Number 1 is Ethiopian Airways. Number 2 is Royal Morocco. Number 3 Southern Africa Airways. Number 4 Kenyan Airways. Number 5 Air Mauritius. Number 6 Rwanda Air. Number 7 Egypt Air. Number 8 Fly Safar. Number 9 is Fastjet, and number 10 is Air Seychelles. So these are your Africa's top 10 best performing airlines. Which one have you had a ride inside? I know most of you guys have ridden or have fly in Air Ethiopia or Ethiopian Air or Ethiopian Airways. Yep, that is what I've also taken too. All right, so well, that is something for you guys. Well, but before we continue with this, a South African shared it on the comment section on what he think might be the problem with the South African Airways that got them the 11 years drought of profit, and now they're actually making money now. So to him, he says, I looked into this to find out how and why South African Airlines managed to pull this off. This is how they did it. So number 1, he says restructuring. So after existing business rescue in 2021, South Africa Airways slashed costs, cut staff, and dropped unprofitable routes. Number 2, smaller fleets. Focused operation with only 6 or 8 planes flying high demand routes. That is so good. So number 3, they says revenue surge. Income jumped 183% to run or R 5.7 billion by prioritizing profitably over volume. Number 4 is government bailout. So massive financial support stabilized the airline and enabled this comeback. So this looks good on paper, but I don't know how South African Airways sustained itself without more taxpayers' fund, which caused more issues. All right, so this is what he found. Wow, that's actually interesting takes here. He said restructuring, that means, and then smaller fleets, that is, they focused on 6 to 8 planes than how more they are actually to ride more planes that actually goes to some routes that doesn't make profit or not highly demand. So that means now the South African Airways are not actually going anywhere. They are going places that are actually highly demand, places that people are going and are also flying to. Well, to me, I won't say it's bad. It's good because, hey, if you're doing business and you're losing profit, you have to do whatever it takes to make it work. And that's good, okay? All right, so this one also says impressive turnaround. It is great to see South African Airways back on track. Persistence can pay off even after a decade of losses. And this one also says, this is good news. We must continue to support our local carrier as South Africans. Well, that is so true though. What man then was shared was actually important too. The restructuring and then all the points he shared was actually important too. And it needs to be settled out, okay? Well, that's what, and I like, but the concern he shared was also important, like saying that the taxpayers' money is used to refund and then boost it back. So that means if they are running at a loss, they will use high taxpayers' money to make it run. That is one thing for sure. I hope they actually make more profits in order to the company to actually be able to take care of itself, and then the taxpayers' money can be used for other developments. But for now, it's actually good news. We are actually celebrating. So this is something about Africa and South Africa, how good they are doing with their South African Airways, and also how Africans are also doing together with their Africa lines or airlines. Okay, this is Vidashi Studios. This was African Time. Thank you for your time.